Fixed expenses are expenses that exist regardless of whether or not we make money. These are things like payroll, health insurance, 401k, office expenses, rent, whether you own the office, you lease the office, utilities, legal fees, accounting fees. Think of it in the context of, if we make more money, does this expense, is it tied to that generation of revenue? If the answer is no, then it's likely a fixed expense. Now, in Pentane, which is a system that's built for driving profitability within a business, we look at the expenses in the business a little bit different than your accountant might. The purpose of accounting, to be clear, is like to create the reports, to file taxes, to get an understanding of how the things work inside of a business, and that's great. Pentane, we want to take that information and maybe slightly modify it in some cases in order to create a picture, a very directive guide as to how to operate profitably or more profitably. So there may be a circumstance, for example, if you use a marketing agency and you pay a flat fee for that agency and it's $5,000 a month, you pay that whether or not you make money. Now, it is tied to revenue, but the important caveat is that if you make more revenue, that expense doesn't change. So in the purpose of Pentane, we would put that in the fixed expense bucket. Even though it is associated with making money, it's not dynamic in that if we make more or less money, that number doesn't change. Now, to be very clear, in the fixed expense bucket, that doesn't mean that those expenses are the same every month. Our legal fees are going to be different every month. Our payroll is going to be different every month. It purely means that they exist whether or not the business makes money, whether you make $1 or you make $1 million. That number isn't going to wildly vary as they would in a variable expense.